Let me get this going. Da, 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 da. Okay, so it's live online learning time. We don't have anything that we're sharing right now on the screen, but we will be shortly. I have in the Clubhouse room Sarah and Patrice, and they're having a conversation right now about some differences between possibly PicMonkey and Canva, or how you can do in Canva what she may have been doing in PicMonkey already. So carry on, you two, with the conversation.
Thank you. So I have hi Patrice, lovely to meet you.
Likewise.
So I have two words, Saddlebank Publishing. And what I've done is I've taken the S and I've created a text box, and I've used Brother Tattoo as my font. And then I've created another text box and I've written the rest of the word Saddlebank without the S. And I've pushed that up against the S and I've grouped those two together so it makes one word. And then underneath that, I've put in Quentin Caps Publishing, and then I've grouped that together. Now, is that something that I can do in Canva?
You can. Canva has come up with several different effects underneath so if I'm looking at it as I'm doing it as we're speaking, so that I can make sure I tell you all the proper names if you're interested in using Canva, or anyone else that is listening while using Canva. When you're doing, let me just open one of these boxes just to start playing with it. So you're talking about basically making the S extremely bold versus the rest of the word, correct? Is that what I'm getting from it?
Yes, I'm using it for argument's sake. I'm using it at 200, and the rest of the word Saddlebank at 72. Just for argument's sake. And I'm wanting that to be bold, and then I still want it all to be purple, which is fine. It's working. And then I do publishing, and I do that in green. And that's in Quentin Caps, and I want to group them all together. But what I've noticed in PicMonkey is that sometimes it considers that they are different layers, even though they're different text boxes that are all grouped together after I've finished editing and pushing them around so that they will make what looks like two words but are actually three text boxes.
Gotcha.
In two different colours. Pardon? Sorry.
In Canva, you can do all of that. Now, you still have to use different text boxes, only because I have a noisy background slightly. I apologize. But because of the sound. In the midst of the midst of the lettering, because your S is 200 and you're making it like you're prominent, and you want to change the rest of the word to a smaller font with different coloring, you can use it all together. Canva happens to have a grouping button. What that does is once you get it to the 3 different types of colors that you wanted, or whatever different fonts that you want, they do have it so that all you have to do, no matter how many text boxes you have, if you want to move things around the screen, or make it smaller, make it larger, fit whatever you need it to be, you would take your mouse and click on the left side, drag it all the way across the area you need, and that's one part of grouping. It'll downsize it. It'll give you an option at the very top of the screen where it'll ask you, do you want to group this? And then you can take it apart later. There's also, while you're in that group setting, you can use the letter spacing. So if you need the letters to be out a little bit more, regardless of the font, you can make the letters out a little bit more. You can either use the settings that they have, or you can use the cursor back and forth with your arrow keys, so that you can move it, just a little bit to the left, or a little bit more to the right, or up a little bit more. And that's one of those beauties with Canva that I tend to love. You're able to just manipulate the wording, the letters, to how you really need it to look. Layering and making the shadows, they have different effects underneath those buttons for when you do your fonts. So if you chose the font, and we'll just say you used Arial Sans, just for conversation, and you wanted to make that bold, if you wanted to make that lifted, if you want to put a shadow, if you want to curve it, Canva has come up with so many different ways to make your fonts pop. And you can add different colors, you can shadow behind different colors behind the font, so you don't have to work nearly as hard as you used to for layering. Hopefully I answered your question.
Yeah, really well. I really appreciate it. Thank you. you had answered questions that I hadn't yet asked. So that's brilliant. I really appreciate that. Thanks so much, Patrice.
You're more than welcome.
Oh, so one consideration when switching from one online graphics tool to another is that you may not have the same font available, and you may need to go purchase that font and then have a paid version of Canva in order to then upload your own fonts. But you can do that. So if you are married to the font that you have chosen thus far, then I would purchase it so that you can use it in any of your commercially based items and can transfer it to your computer and also to Canva if they don't have it.
Correct.
Cool. Thank you. So do I have to buy that from PicMonkey, or is that somewhere that you buy that online?
Patrice, do you use like font stores or?
I'd use defont.com. It's free. You can, they ask if you'd like to donate to the author. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. They're all royalty free. I use Defont. It's DA fonts.com. And they have several different varieties of ones that you can use to do that. Matter of fact, a lot of what I have in my, that I use are from Defont. They're definitely from there. There's a way that you can upload them, like you know how you would upload I don't know if you're familiar with Canva and how you upload a graphic or an audio, but that's the same way you would upload that font.
Yeah, you go to the upload tabs, don't you? Or do you? No, you go into your settings.
Hopefully that answered the question.
I think when you're uploading the fonts, don't you have to go into, I think you have to go into your settings.
Where? On your computer?
To upload a font into Canva, not settings in Canva. So your like account.
Let me go back. I haven't uploaded one
logos,
in the last month or so to walk you through it. But I can help you very quickly. I don't even know. Hi, Samaro. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but greetings to the room.
Yeah, greetings. I think it goes into your branding areas.
There you go.
Yep, it's in the branding section.
Some of the layout.
Mm-hmm.
They've changed out the layout.
Yeah.
So that's a really big thing.
Yeah, you have to go into the branding section and put it in there. So.
Yeah, that's why I said they've changed a lot. Like, so, but the biggest thing with the fonts for me, I've learned is keep them simple. You know, definitely make sure that whatever you're wanting to advertise or what your most important thing is about the fonts, you know, the most important message, you keep it simple enough for those can read it. As much as we like to use the curvy this and that, sometimes they confuse your audience as well as they're not able to read the information clearly. And I've seen so many people tend to not use it right.
Yeah, totally. Oh. My alarm just went off.
Yeah, I don't know. That's my wife. Sorry.
Yeah, so I did create in the video, as people were, if they're listening or watching the video, the saddle bank, the S, and I just picked whatever font it was that was there and grouped them together. So now what I was thinking was we will try, because she wants to know, can she do the effects? So if we do effects, if we choose that group and we put it on there, it only does the piece of it that's like, it chooses one at a time. You still have to do each box separately.
Correct.
So that's the same in PicMonkey as it is over here. Yeah. Now, can you add, you can only add one effect, right, on here?
Only if you use each port separately, you can use whatever you want. So like if she wanted to do the S and she wanted to do, we'll just say, let me get over here because it's better to have a conversation when you're in it. We just use that effects. So say she wanted to make the S a shadow because she wanted the S extremely broad. She can put the S as one text box as itself and make it the way she wants it. So that can be a shadow. If the rest of the word, she wanted to do a lift so that there's like a lighting behind it or make it a neon or there's some other different effects, then that's where she can do it. She would make that separate, but she would group it together and she can make it as one word.
Right. I guess my question was, you can only put one effect.
One effect per text box.
Per text box. Right. Where, okay, so this is where PicMonkey, I feel, is a little bit better if you're going to want to do a lot of layered things, because you can actually add a drop shadow and a couple other things. Like you can add more than one thing to a layer. So because you add it and then you apply it, and then you go back in and you can do something more to it. And it doesn't take off the other one because it's already been applied.
So the only way that could happen is if you save the wording and you make it transparent and then you bring it back into something different. I've learned that with making banners.
Yeah.
Print, saving it as an SVG file because, some of the things they need are a little bit broader. And that's the only way I've done certain things. I made the shadowing. I built the word the way it was done, but I needed it broader. I needed to be more pronounced. And that was the only way that I could do it without copying that word and making it a shadow itself. Like, there's other effects and not animation. Let me get out of this screen.
So do you want to, if I send you the link for coming into, you're on your computer?
Yes, I am.
So if I send you the link, did I do that in Instagram? Where are we connected? I think we're connected on Instagram.
With Facebook too, I think.
Okay. Facebook might be quicker. Right. Patrice Greene. That one.
That would be me.
Okay. So I've sent you that, and you can come into StreamYard. Just leave your StreamYard mic muted so that we don't have feedback.
No problem.
And then you can come in and share your screen. Right now I'm sharing my screen, but it may help if you shared your screen. And then if people wanted to watch, they can go to the YouTube channel. Let me go grab the YouTube link and pop that. Make sure that's, actually, let me check my Instagram because I might have already set this up. For those watching this, yes, we're technically working this out, but I've only done this a couple times. This is still a new thing for me.
Let me turn mine down.
Okay. Oh, mute your mic here for a minute because you're echoing in two places. Okay, so maybe now you've got that off. Oh, try unmuting here on Clubhouse and talking. Try unmuting on Clubhouse. Let me add you to the stream.
Is that better?
Yep, that's better.
Awesome. Gotta love technology.
Gotta love technology. So, alrighty. So you can see my
things without it.
Screen share, but I'm going to actually stop my screen share, and you can start yours so that you can share what you're talking about. Now, for those who are watching in the Clubhouse room, I'm checking on. We are recording live onto a StreamYard onto YouTube. And I am looking to see if I set it up for, I think if you go to the tap link and you go to the bright green streaming for Clubhouse room, it's it's taking you to last week's. So let me fix it and put the current one up there. We'll at least get you to the channel. So, okay. Right. It's live. Let me see if I can get a share link without. No. Okay, I'm going to mute myself here just so I don't have feedback. I'm going to grab that link. I'm grabbing the link and then I'm going into my tap link and adding it. Okay. Okay, go in here and change that to this week. So I forgot to do that piece. And Sarah had to go. She's going on the road. If anyone wants to come up, you guys are welcome to come up. Just know that your voice will be. Oh, wait.
Well, welcome to the room, Mel.
Yeah, if anyone.
Thank you guys for coming in.
If anyone wants to come up, you're welcome to come up. You'll just be recorded because your voice will be recorded because we are doing a live streaming at the same time. But happy to answer any font questions. We're going to walk through some font things and kind of do a general font lesson. And you can get to that and watch as we do it by going to my Instagram and tapping on the streaming for Clubhouse room in the link. There's in my link, it'll take you to a tap link, and yeah, it opens it. It's bright green, neon green. You can't miss it. I believe it is working now. So let me get back over here to StreamYard. I have 27 things going at once. And are you ready to share your screen?
Yeah, I'm playing around with it now.
Okay.
But I'm more than welcome to share my screen.
So I'll remove this one, and you go ahead and share that one. You're a brave soul on camera. Too funny.
You're a brave soul.
Yep.
We'll be learning together.
That's right.
That's how life goes. So what I'm doing is I was trying to find a better looking S. Then that's always the fun part when you're trying. Okay, this is kind of cute. I don't know what it's used for or where the title is. So usually with font, hey Sarah, thanks for coming in the room. When I do fonts, I try to match it up with the actual business or personality thereof, the wording. So like if you were doing something with children, you wouldn't use something with a fancy cursive. You would use something more childlike. So you have to make sure that all of your fonts and things like that match. So because I don't know exactly what Saddlebank is, it just seems like it's something that adults would be interested in, maybe a club or something of that nature. So that's why I chose the fonts that I did. So that's basically, how this came off to me.
Yeah, it's publishing.
So, so that's what I figured it was something more adult-like.
It's adult. It's so funny because it's adult-like, but she publishes children's books, but she's also going to publish other books too. So
that's how it works. All right. So like with the S, Sarah had a question. She was trying to figure out how to layer it to make it bigger. I assume that was the real question.
No, the question was, will she be able to do the layering of the different kinds of that, like with a shadow and an outer glow. So you know how like in Photoshop you can do many different what do they call them in there?
Effects, right?
Effects, yeah, effects. Yeah. So FX effects. Canva is a little bit limited in that because you really can only do one on each
Right.
box. So she's doing multiple layers, which is why I put her into PicMonkey, because of how she wanted to create it. But I wasn't sure she was still doing that, but it sounds like she still is.
Gotcha. So this is what I play around the most with.
I can actually bring PicMonkey up. Oops. Yeah, okay, good. Making sure I didn't screw up the thing. So, and what's your favorite? So what's your favorite? So, and anyone watching or listening in the room, if you want to watch what we're doing, go to my Instagram, Cindy Lou's Instagram, tap on the link there, and then tap on the bright green, neon green link, and it'll take you right over to the YouTube channel. And you can watch live what we're doing, what we're talking about.
So you're saying, what is my favorite font or my favorite
effects?
Hi, Christine. My favorite font. For most things that I like to do, I try to make it as classy as possible. But for me, it would be Great Vibes, or the one that's used the most in things that I do is called It's called Cream Cake. I'll explain to you what cream cake looks like. So we'll just pull one down. Cream cake is, I'd be worried more about spelling than I would about creating. That's worse for me. So cream cake is such a font, and it was something that it was uploaded. It did not come with Canva. Here it is here. And it's clean. It gives you a little bit of,
Oh yeah, I like it.
It's not, it's fancy, but it's not. It's clear, but you get a little bit of that, hey, come look at me. And I really appreciate that. And this is what I was trying to explain to Sarah about grouping. I'm quick to do this one. And then just move everything that she had all together, make it smaller, make it larger, because sometimes you just need that.
Yeah.
So, and she wants this behind her bigger, right?
No, that's pretty good. It's pretty similar. I can actually show you hers. I do.
Okay.
Well, I have what she started with. I think she may have changed it up a bit, but I do have the beginning of it.
Well, then if you want, I'll stop sharing.
So let me see. I'm loading. I think it's changed since this, but I'll show you what she had done. And then I can show you some examples of what PicMonkey does, which is kind of interesting that we're going there with this, because we hadn't thought about like what are the different tools that are out there. It doesn't always have to be Canva, right? Like it can be.
Correct.
Share screen. Okay.
I must say, Canva does not pay me.
Right. We are not paid
So
by.
I use everything. I use Design Bold. I use, sometimes I've made things within, oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah. So I don't remember what she ended up with in the end. This was my sample of what I gave her. And I don't remember if she stayed with which fonts she stayed with. But anyway, this is all together. So I'll show you what I mean by what this does. So here, and has anyone entered the room that wasn't there? So if we go to effects.
Hi, Christy. Welcome to the room.
If you want to watch along, Christy, go to my Instagram and tap on there. And you can go to the lime green, the neon green. Trying to turn off my notifications here because they keep coming.
Now you can kind of do. Now that I'm looking at this, my mental starts to roll. Of course, playing on.
Oh,
Canva.
effects. Here we go. So effects. So see how I can like add a drop shadow, right? And then I can close that one, and I can also add an outline. So I'm not limited to just the one. So it has like.
Then, yeah.
Yeah. So you can kind of add all of that. And then you can change all of these. You can change the angle of that. You can scale it. change it so it's a little bit bigger. You can fade it so it's more or it's less. You can also add a blur, which I think is kind of fun sometimes. Not on this particular one, didn't work, but little bit of blur. And then you can also change the color of that highlight, so it can be. So if we change that, and it's quite easy to change some of the things like the outline. That's probably a bit drastic of color. So let's change the color of that outline. I'm kind of liking that one.
I like the top one.
The top one?
Yeah.
So, and you notice that I had all of it selected, and it was doing it to all of it, the effects.
Mm-hmm.
So it was doing it to all of it at once, at least in this particular thing. So you don't have to do each one by itself. So there's a lot of things about PicMonkey that I really like. So I think for Sarah, because I know her, I'm going to tell her to just go ahead with
That might be the best bet. Yeah, that might be her best bet.
Yeah, to stick with it. I actually pay for both because I just love some of the things that PicMonkey does. One of my favorite things to do in PicMonkey is to create like backgrounds. So, but we're talking fonts today. Better not confuse people. We can do backgrounds next week. You want to come back again, Patrice?
I'd be more than honored to come back.
I know.
I make a bunch of virtual backgrounds for myself.
Awesome.
I do a lot of, I have to, because I'm that quirky individual when it comes to not looking like everyone in the room. And especially since now everyone's still doing these virtual meetings, because not everyone's 100% ready to go back in. And I always make my background somewhere weird, or I make it professional looking, but just enough to be a conversation piece. My boyfriend and I, we go to all these different places, like farmers markets. Sometimes I'll just take my phone and just walk with it. So it looks like I'm walking through an area, or I'm sitting in an area, sitting by the park, things like that. You gotta be creative. It's awesome.
So let me stop my share now and let you go ahead and share and show us. You were going to show us how you did a few things. We had talked last week. Do you remember what we talked about? You can just go into Canva and show whatever. Go for it.
So here's the biggest thing. Here's one of the biggest things I've done in Canva. I work with a church, and they don't have much of a YouTube following. My YouTube following isn't large either, but I know enough. I just haven't been open. But they didn't have a banner. They didn't have anything, and they wanted this. Because we're going to stay on fonts for a quick moment. They wanted to have. I'm coming up on the screen like I was like. Maybe I have to go out and come back in. But sometimes simple is best. So I'm going to stop sharing and come back out because I don't know if it's the reason why. One more time. There it is. There's banner art. So this was the banner art because I kept it within the brand colors, and that's another thing that goes with the font. Learning how to play with the colors of the brand, they were on unified or uniform, excuse me, what you're doing. I'm sorry. But I tried to make, when you're doing YouTube banners, you want to keep, so you want to keep the actual banner in the middle. So make yourself a border for smack dab in the middle of your YouTube banner, and then try to put all of your fonts in there. So what I did is I kept it very clean, very simple, very legible. You need to make sure when you're using your fonts, the information that you definitely want out is the biggest thing that's shown. So like we needed to know the pastor's name, the name of the church. They had their own logo already, the address, things like that. And that is what you see. And sometimes if I would have made that really like wild and pretty in font, you would not have been able to get the information that you really need. So that's that one. Let's see. I have some other things that I have done within Canva. Let me open it up in Canva, and then it makes it easier for you. Otherwise, you won't see any of it. So I also play in a sense of font. I've done these. Let's see if you can see. These are called All My Designs. So I've made flyers. I've done the open door flyer. This is actually a class that I put together. You can do presentations in Canva. And that was playing with fonts and understanding what it is you want to do with your presentations. I've done a website in Canva. A website is somewhere around here. So here's like my virtual background. Things move within my virtual background. The little cat underneath the table, those are like my boys that I actually have at home. There, the flowers move. There's a picture of me up on the bookshelf. Here's my website. And within the website, there's working items within the workshop. This is my freemium that I have. Like, I have all kinds of beautiful things that I call beautiful. Let me say that. I also made a vision board. I know in the beginning of the year, vision boards are extremely big for those. So I created one with a couple friends, and I walked them through making a vision board through Canva. And with making the vision board, you know, you can always pull stuff out as you have accomplished them. You can always recreate it and start another one. I've made my own logos. That's what you see here. This is, it says social logo. It's transparent. So basically, when the clothing line is complete, I can actually use that to put that in the tags, put that in the front of the shirt, things of that nature. This was another one. I wish I could see it better. Summer in the Psalms. Yeah, I have to switch this out so you guys can see exactly what this is. So I explained the font with Summer in the Psalms. What you see where the word Psalm is, they're called photo grids. They have come up with so many new ones that you can put pictures inside of the actual lettering. And that's what's done here. These weren't letters that were already there and you just add them in. These are actually empty grids that you can do. So now you can do, they call them frames, excuse me. So frames, letters. So like these, you can do, that's not a good example. Let's do elements and letters. So you do these. And then you can do frame plus some other things. Let me get down. So we'll just do hello as an example. So in this situation, this is the beauty of it. You just grab them, put them in the middle. You want them all to be the same size text. You do that, and you situate them. That's an E. So you do hello. And the beauty is actually making sure that you can use the lines that are on here. In the sense of spacing, because I do and don't have that. Once I get it together. So we'll pick your picture. We'll just use shimmery somethings. You can go inside the pictures, make your life easy. It says shimmering.
So if you take the lettering there and you highlight across to select it all, and you're not going to group it, just go across and select it all.
Oh yeah.
And then go to position.
Yeah, that's
position, and then do horizontally. There, spaces out horizontally. It's going to automatically space it out for you. Yeah.
We'll just say glitter. It's just an example. Pink glitter. And then what I used to do is I would do stuff like this, and I would put it in my lettering. But I strategically place them in my lettering. I need a background because I can't see. There I go. So go back to my elements. Recently used. That just went the long way. Photos. Here we go. I've changed the direction for some. I've had a bunch of fun with the lettering for this. The first time I did it, I was extremely horrible. You talking about practice makes perfect. Staying within your lane. I wasn't there. I was not there. I would do everything.
So you rotate it before you put it in, right? When you change the direction of it?
I do.
Yep.
Sometimes I do.
Can you rotate it after it's been put in?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I think you have to detach it to change it.
Yeah. So that's
Canva's fickle. It's a fickle lady. She ain't big on change. She's not very big on change. She's like, look, this is what you get. You can play a little bit, but for the most part, this is what we're doing. So sometimes you just gotta play with her. That's the whole thing about I like it, in the sense of, but there's so much to manipulate with this. I've learned that. Like when I did this one, it took me, like you can still move the letters, but that's it. Like you can't turn it, and it's just one picture. And I just made the picture small so that I can have exactly what I wanted, like the green line across the bottom where it says Psalms, was what I was focusing on. I wanted all that to be, uniformed and to actually show up. So like with this would have been just hello, and you get a picture and it gets some elements that say eyes. Maybe if I typed in the box, that would work. Maybe if I spelled it right, it would work.
So if anyone in the room has any questions or anybody watching on online, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask us away. I don't know how much.
More than welcome to you.
Don't know how much time you have, Patrice. I want to be aware of that. Do you have a time limit that you need to be out? Because I have a feeling you and I could do this all day.
My family wouldn't like me being here all day, but I would. I'd sit here.
I know, right? And that's part of the piece that happens, right? When you get the bug.
Yeah, like you know what? You ever find yourself, and all of those creative souls that are out there more likely find themselves doing the same thing. When you find something and you're intrigued to finish it, or you just you play with it for so long, everything becomes awake in you. You're like, oh my God, look at this. Well, wait a minute. If I try this, if I move this here, and then I try to recreate that is the beauty of being creative. That is the beauty of your creativity altogether. I enjoy it. I can't see how people. Yeah, I enjoy it.
Yeah,
I enjoy creating. I get such a joy with the aftermath of creating certain things. Putting little swirls on things. Like this looks crazy. But it's the fact that you can do this type of thing. I have no idea what direction I was going in, but I don't. I just was putting stuff up. Like all this, I would delete because I don't need it. But just the fact that you can build people to build a logo for a lot of people. I noticed during the pandemic, they were doing cosmetics. Everyone wanted to sell cosmetics. For some reason, cosmetics was the thing. And everybody was selling lashes. And that was one of the biggest things. It was like, well, what are we going to do for lashes? I'm like, I don't know what you would use for lashes. I was like, everyone has an eye. I said, build an eye. Build your eye. If you can, I had a client, he's on YouTube, and he has a raindrop as a spokesperson. And in the midst of that, he was like, I never thought about taking, I think I used a regular teardrop. Yep. Like this was it. I put the teardrop there. I just throw those eyes over there. You build some arms and make yourself what you need. That's the beauty of Canva. That's where it is. The absolute beauty. But I did I then started like his arms here.
We may be veering off of fonts, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's what I said. I was trying to find something to say hey with. So it could be like, hi. So fonts are, let's go back to topic. Let's play with that. So here's some of the ones
cute.
that they
I really like him. He's cute.
Yeah, you got to be creative every now and again and build what you don't see. But I love the sample fonts that they give you here on Canva. Like this is the glow that they have. Here's an outline. Remember you guys were talking about outlines? And here it is.
So did you know, go ahead and type something in there. Take that out for a minute.
Okay.
And just type in, just do the typing tool and type in a word. Go down to your next one down below.
Hold on. I didn't have to delete that.
I know, I love that too. It's so cute. Yeah, put the fun back up. Put the fun back up on the other one. But anyway, okay, so now type something in there. Oops, where'd it go?
Yeah, that's what I said. I don't know what's happening today. I think I'm too excited. There we go. Hello. Okay. So we'll help your friend out.
Okay, so now what I want you to do is just Saddlebank. Yep, that's fine. Doesn't matter what you type. Okay, so now grab, you know how you like grab and put a photo over one of those things? Grab one of those, hold and drag it on top of Saddlebanks. So take the fun one and grab and drag it on top of there.
You want to put a photo there?
No. Do you know how when you put the photos into the hello, how you drag them over and you held it above it? So I want you to do that, but go to the fonts that are pre-selected, the fonts that Canva has. Go to the font tab. Okay.
You want me to just pick a font?
No. The pre-selected ones.
Oh, you know what?
Where you were.
Here we go.
Okay. So grab one of those and slide it on top of Saddlebanks. And it will, I think it takes, no, it didn't do it. Okay. Because I know I did that one time, but I'm not sure how I did it. So I might have to go into Canva on my side and do.
Yeah, I play with a lot of layering. Let me get that out of here.
Is that in Elements? Where's those fonts?
These fonts are underneath the text box.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So, like, in other words, like, this is an element, the shadowing here.
Okay. So it doesn't do what I thought it did.
That's no.
Okay, so it's not doing what I thought.
It doesn't do a lot of layering. Now you can shadow a picture over top of the word, but that's about as far as it goes. All right, I made that smaller so I can work. I never use my first name, but here we are. So with this, you can do.
So should I be calling you Nikki?
You can.
Okay, then.
Most do. Most do. Most do.
So have you become Patrice on Clubhouse, or are you converting people over to Nikki?
I'm converting to Nikki because Patrice becomes so hard for some. I don't know why. Sometimes it's hard pronouncing. I really don't see the issue with there, but it does. It becomes an issue.
So
I don't get it.
Did you know that you can put like an alias in Clubhouse?
No.
Yeah, you can do it one time. So you could actually add Nikki.
Yeah, because it's like, I mean, I know it's my name.
Yeah, you can you can add a known by name.
Okay, I can do with a known by name.
Yeah, I think you go in and you tap on your name in your profile pic. Whoops. Just trying to remember how you did that.
How I did what?
You can change your username once, which I don't know why you would want to, but
yeah, that's why I said I just left it as I left my username as the business name.
Yeah.
And just left it there. Because I figured it would be easier. Like some of these, that's what it says, for what she was looking for, I understood. And some of these fonts won't accommodate what she's looking for in branding, but you can add little things to it. But I get it. I get what she was looking for. Once I saw what your design was,
yeah,
I got a very clear understanding as to what she looked like. She would be working very hard, very hard to try to accomplish.
Yeah, in Canva, it would be a lot more difficult than what we're doing over in PicMonkey. So
yeah, I have to definitely feel that.
Yeah, finding the right tool. So
yeah, that's the whole thing. That's what I said. You use what you have to accomplish what you want in the sense of the font. I've done many of things with where'd my A go? That doesn't matter. I don't use that no more anyway. In that sense, let me see where I had one. Oh, here we are.
Oh, you should be able to undo to get back
I don't
to where
need
the A
it. It's trash now. I don't need it. It's last year.
last year. It's so last year.
It's so last year. I work with the funeral home, and I'm going to share this in the sense of font. I did not put a lot of information on the card because the family asked for it not to be done that way. So this was, this was like his announcement card. So the fact that, a lot of people forget that you can make certain things in Canva. So now I do, unfortunately, but fortunately, like death announcements, you make them very pleasing to the eye. If they have a color scheme, what you do is you just take the picture out, you add the picture back in. Learn that this around here is a different type of framing. You see it's different everything. But that's his name, and we used it on Facebook. What else do I have in the sense of fonts? That would be pretty cool. Oh, here we are. Let me switch this out one more time. Sorry, guys.
That's all right. They're hanging in there watching.
I appreciate you guys. In the sense of, here's a great example of how to properly use your fonts. So hopefully everyone's going to look at the screen. Yeah, I'm everywhere as P&G creates. I just figured I'd make it easier for myself. So like here, this is the use of fonts. They're all simple, but some of them are a little different. Like the biggest part of this message was the church needed a musician, right? So what you want to do is whatever it is, like, so if you're having, we'll just say, for example, you're having a Canva class. I'll use something I know. use a Canva class. The biggest thing is you want to do, if you gave it a crafty name, you say Canva on free, we'll just say. So that's where you make that one of the bold statements. You don't want to overpower your space because you still want to leave just enough information for your information. So you do Canva on Parade, that's big. You can keep it simpler than what this is, but there was a criteria that they needed, and that's why it looks like it does. But if you wanted to put, what the course is about, try to keep it to a sentence, like just generalize it. And because what you're feeling is if you're introducing someone into your program or whatever, you want to be able to explain more than what they're reading, but give them a generalization. So Canva on Parade can be several different Canva creators in one space. So you got an idea. Oh man, we get to see all these other Canva creators be so awesome in this one space. And then you be like, well, here's the date. Is this date at this time? And if there's a cost, how much this cost is. Then you want to have your call to action. Here says, interested individuals, please email us. So if you're having a class or something like that, you might want to say register at, and then put it down there. And that needs to be broad. So it's so many things. I guess I could do a sample very quickly. I don't know as to what. I guess I'm using Canva on Parade. I opened my mouth and said Canva.
I was going to say, when are we doing this class?
I'm always down to teach.
Let's do it. Let's do a class.
I'm getting myself together to do Canva by numbers. I'm going to teach a friend of mine to see if they can follow the directions. If it's clear enough for those that have, which is my statement, those that believe they have no design skills, but bring to fruition what they think of. With step-by-step instructions, that's easy and simple. Because, graphic design of any kind can be extremely intimidating. Because you're looking at it and you're like, oh my goodness, I really want it to look like this. But your mind doesn't, you have to work backwards, work from the end result to the front to try to get what exactly that you need. So it's one of those things. So like Canva on design. So Canva on Parade, on Parade. Why can't I spell Parade today? There you go. Canva on Parade. That's our biggest thing. So say in this situation, it's me and Cindy Lou rocking it out on Canva on Parade with some special guests. Things of that nature. You can do framings. I'm a frame type of individual. We'll make these small frames for our photos.
Hey, Danita, welcome. If you want to watch.
I'm sorry, my background's a little loud. I'm sorry.
That's okay. If you guys want to watch along, you can go to my Instagram and see the link in my bio, and then it's the neon green tag to be able to watch along. So definitely head on over there if you want to watch. Canva on Parade. So now you're going to need my photo.
Yeah. You can put it in Messenger and I'll grab it.
Yep. I'm going there.
So I have a core. These are other people I've had to work with and things like that, companies I've worked with. But I use this picture for everything.
You guys are seeing a collaboration happen live.
You gotta make it big enough so you can grab it. Let's resize this because it's not big enough to really.
I want to see.
I do everything in presentation form because I need to see.
Okay.
I need to see. That's just how it goes. I need to see.
Welcome, Pedro. We're designing live, and we're actually over on YouTube streaming. And if you want to watch that, you go to my Instagram and my bio link, and then the neon green tab should take you to the video. And we're talking about creating stuff with fonts. Hey, Tristan, welcome. We are creating something live. We're actually going to do a course together or a class or something. Or have we're going to have something. We are creating a collaboration live. Too fun.
Yeah, so when you think of parade, you know, what are some of the things you think of with a parade? What the times?
So Canva on parade, we're going to show off what Canva has, right?
Yeah.
The bits and bubbles of Canva. So, for
See, it
those,
kicked me out.
what's that?
Oh, that's a pretty picture.
Thank you.
That's a pretty picture.
It's my
And
standard.
then I had to go blank real quick. I'm like, who's texting me right now?
Ah, who's sending me a message? That's funny.
Yeah, like.
So now she's
I was
gonna
like, wait, it actually.
she's gonna upload the media now. Yeah.
Yes, I am. Yes,
So,
indeed.
Tristan, I'm not sure if you know where to find the video, but it is, I believe, in my Instagram. I better double check that, see if it's working. Tap link on my Instagram, and then streaming for Clubhouse. And is that taking them to the live? It sure is.
Tap link.
Shh, quiet. Showing in the background. Don't want it doing that.
Here's that Cindy Lou.
Whoop, whoop. Okay.
So this is where you can do like framing. You can do all kinds of stuff in the middle. We'll just add some old craziness for conversation's sake.
Mm-hmm.
And so it actually took fruition and no dates and times and such forth. But you can use your, this is what parades do, right? So most of the time when you do an advertisement, you're not going to use half of this stuff.
So how do you choose what fonts to use?
I use my fonts based on what the subject matter is. So this is a parade, right? So you want to have like this looks festive, or maybe I'll find something different. But the concept is
try refreshing your screen because I'm not seeing any updates. Or
you're not seeing anything? Okay, hold on.
Yeah, it got stuck.
Yeah, it's like you're doing too much over there.
Okay, add it back to this. Yep, there we go. Yep, cool.
Yeah, something like this. Like you can, I don't know about black, but you can have different colors. So what I did for those that are brand new to Canva and thinking about it, I just put in banners. You can do all kinds of things with banners. You can have something like this instead, and drape it and add it a couple times to make a banner. I'm that person. But whatever you do, own it. Make it yours.
Mm.
To bring us down some more, because you want it to be fun. If you think parade, you think people doing certain things.
Yep.
What else? Canva on parade. So what else do you think about when you think on a parade? You think of the cotton candy. You think of the circus. Maybe even, I don't know. I haven't been to so many parades in my life. But we know it's fun, right? So you can set that as your background just to wake it up some. But be mindful of your font with things of this nature. You want to make sure you don't overpower with so much color and things like that, but you want to make sure whatever your wording is, that you stay to it. So like in this situation, we want to make sure we put names at the bottom. They don't know who we are. Say it's somebody brand new to us. And if you are, welcome to the stream. So you put your name. I want to make sure these are even. Put the name, make the name bold because people like to know who the heck their instructors are. Let me get all this right. So Miss Cindy Lou.
Okay. Donita, Elaine, got any questions? You can always type them into the comments online, or you can raise your hand and come on up, but just know that your voice will be on the video.
Come on and ask a question.
Come on.
I like questions.
You can also send questions in the back channel if you want. The world is upside down. I'm about to fall asleep. Have a good one. I shouldn't stay up. That was Tristan. He came for a little bit. He's in the UK, so it's
Wow.
midnight there. So yeah, he should be going to bed. I love the global community, so I can have you create my graphic for my next challenge. Yes. Are you talking to myself or Patrice? Either of us could do it, or we could do it live for fun.
Yeah, that's what we're doing right now. That's how you get to know. That is 43. I like even.
I have to go see who that is because they're in my Facebook group. So
the numbers are the same. And so that's when you do little beautiful things with these elements here. Need another banner. You can either keep them uniformed or add them to something different. You know, that's what we do. We'll keep it uniform.
that's Elaine. It's Miss
Hi,
Social.
Elaine.
Miss Social. Yeah, as soon as she said that, I would have known who it was. I didn't need to come over here. Too funny.
She said we're on social media and I like to be social.
She does every time. Every time.
Every time. Stay
Yeah,
consistent.
social media, and I like to be social.
Yeah. That's Miss Elaine. Keeping it consistent.
Now,
so you want to keep the name easy to read, and because that's prominent for me personally. I like to know who I'm responding to, and then I like some of these ribbons that came up. Now I haven't been able to create my own ribbon, but I'm sure if I sat with it long enough, I probably could. With the shapes that they happen to have. But I like this one.
So, Elaine, when is your challenge?
When is my challenge?
No, I'm asking Elaine when her challenge is. So, last week when we were talking, you and I, Miss Nikki, changing it right over to Nikki. You said something about doing the fonts in layers so you could build it up. So I'm not sure what you were talking about.
So build it up. Okay. So I'll get off of this because this is, just.
Yeah, but I like the way, but let's talk about this for a minute. So I like the way you're using the background, and then you would add text on that red banner, right? That would then maybe be in white so that it's easier to read.
Correct.
And so you've got the background happening there, but the text is all on something solid. So it's easier for people to read. You want to make the text, however you put it on, something that's super easy for people to read. But we will continue creating this Canva on Parade, and we're going to do something with this. I'm not sure what we're going to do yet, Nikki, but we'll have a collaboration. We'll have a collaboration talk. And
let me do. I have one that I started layering. Let me go to that extremely quick for you guys.
Hey, Lisa. September. Okay, cool. So,
hey, Cindy Lou.
Hey, welcome. Remember, you're being recorded, so you are on the video.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Elaine. So Elaine's in the Facebook group and typing messages. I love it. So Elaine, if you wanted to send us all of the information, I think Patrice and I, or Nikki and I, would be willing to next week design one live for you. We'll collaborate and design it live in front of everybody. And we can do that, and I can talk about backgrounds a little bit, but we can always do backgrounds the week after. Oh, I got to put that up at the stream. Sorry. Yada.
Yeah. Let me get my
Are you doing a
on
copy?
my desktop.
Make sure you do a copy of it so you don't mess it up.
Oh, well, this I put on a shirt already.
Okay.
Because I like bold. Please excuse me. I have to put my phone, the charger to the laptop, otherwise I have nothing to talk about.
Otherwise, it won't matter. She'll be gone. Hey, Lisa, do you have any?
I have too much to talk about.
Lisa,
but I can still hear you guys.
Lisa, do you have any font-related questions?
I do not, as I am still out and about running errands.
Cool. Very good. So it sounds like Elaine's going to send us the information so we can design that next week live. That will be fun. If she sends us the information ahead, maybe we can have it a little pre-planned. So yeah, send that information sooner rather than later, my beautiful.
So with this is actually 2 layers of the same word. But these layers are actually in shadow. So what you can't see is this is black behind it. See, I put black. So if I was to put white, you can see where all the layers
would have
went. You can see that there's 4. Maybe I shouldn't use red. Maybe use something that's brighter to actually see. Well, that didn't help either. That's when your color code back in grade school comes into play. You know, red and blue makes purple, that type of life.
Yep.
Get a chance to really layer. But this is what layering is. I love to do this. I make a lot of t-shirts with my cousin. It'll be all kinds of things. But you can see that just with the shadow layer, you can see the difference. And then you can move the directions of the shadow to make it something else. So like say, blue would never be seen. Orange. I changed the background off of that black so you can really see.
Gotcha. Whoops, somebody's trying to call me.
Isn't that always fun? And you say to yourself, don't you know I'm doing something? And you know they don't know. They're just taking a chance. But yeah, this is layering. So if you're on Canva, this is the shadow effect. This is the specific font because I wanted this shirt. I have an event that I'm doing and this was my choice word. So we were all supposed to find some kind of t-shirt to represent what we wanted, and this was mine.
Okay.
So I was like, I'll make my own shirt. And you can shoot. I bought it through Canva because my cousin unfortunately had a lot going on. So she couldn't really print off my shirt. But you can have so much fun with layering words. It's all about how you do it. Put some things on it and put it backwards. Man, I have so much fun with Canva. I just do.
Awesome. Well, I think that gives a really good idea. And next week, you can order shirts through Canva. Yes, you can. Shirts,
yes, you can.
Mugs.
Yeah, you can
posters.
do so many things. I've made banners. There's a banner that I did. You can put your face on your own shirt. Matter of fact, I did a YouTube video on my YouTube page where I went through the whole thing. I created the shirt, I paid for the shirt, and then I came back and I showed you the boxing and what the shirt looks on you. So, you know, heads up for those that are listening, for females per se, if you're frontal lobes are larger, please go with a men's shirt. If you want to try it, I don't want you to be disappointed. Your safe bet is to actually go with the men's shirt. I learned that with the last 2 shirts that I've purchased from them as my samples versus the very first one, because it was cut beautifully in certain sections, but what they don't explain is not every woman is cut the same. So for myself and other women, it was best for me to buy a men's shirt. So like if you're a medium, buy a men's large, just to make sure it's cut correct for you, and that everything is pleasingly covered, very ladylike covered. That's the nice way I can say it.
Patrice, what's your YouTube channel? Could you share that with us, please?
It's P&G Creates. Everything, I'm trying to get I don't know why my Instagram won't change, but everything right now is getting ready to be P&G Creates. I have a couple YouTube videos there about Canva. I did some fonts about Canva, some hex colors. If you get an inspirational block, how to kind of walk yourself out of that. Welcome to like and subscribe. I got 3 videos I need to put up after we're done this. Because I was just busy. I was creating so many different things. And I actually get a kick out of this. Just sitting here, creating, and just, you guys will love it too. I'm telling you, even if you don't use Canva, just creating. Hey, Cassandra, how are you? I didn't come back over to see the comments. I apologize. But yeah, you can, creating, I don't know, I'll speak for myself. I've gotten such a joy from creating. I've gotten I can just lose myself. So if you're a busy person and you still dream, the beauty is being on Canva or being on Adobe Photoshop, wherever your creative, design takes you to, and just creating and see stuff start to come to fruition. And then you sit back and you're like, oh my God, I did that. It is, for me, it's a beautiful all. Absolutely beautiful all. I get so excited when I've created something and it's like, oh, this is it. This is spot on.
That's awesome. Okay, I'm going to end the live. Thanks for watching, you guys. It's been an hour and 12 minutes of us creating live.
I was like, oh my God.
So I'm going to end this broadcast, and we'll be back next week with another video here in the Facebook and the YouTube channel where we're creating live, and we're going to do this weekly for a little while. And if Nikki can't make it, I'll still be here doing some stuff. So I'm ending that broadcast now, and we're going to continue on in the Clubhouse room for a little bit. So if you want to talk with us live, come on into Clubhouse. Talk to you later.